Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon. And firstly, I want to thank ME Action for partnering with me again and helping organize this event. I'm so grateful to them and all the hard work they do for all of us. So I'm going to recommend everyone start in a Shavasana, a restorative pose. Unless you prefer to be seated, of course, that's always available. And what is a nice way to start, because sometimes laying straight down on your back, you might find you have some pressure in the low back. So having something under the knees can kind of help with that. And obviously something for under the head. And we're going to use those two props later in practice. So have them close by if you don't have them now. And I just wanted to welcome everyone to the wonderful community we have here. I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm continuously inspired and in awe of how resilient and strong we all are. Rallying together from our beds or our yoga mats from all over the world despite this chronic disease and never giving up hope. So there's nothing like being in a community with like-bodied individuals and people who get it to be able to safely practice yoga together. And I really hope you find that here too. And if you've been in my classes before, you know my approach is that I'm only your guide. I encourage you to always do what's right for you, what feels good, and leave the rest. So if you're new, welcome. And be sure to go at your own pace. And like I said in my email, since there's such a range of functionality with our illness, I try to make it as accessible as possible, but nobody knows your body better than you. So make sure to pace and look after yourself. And we're going to begin with some grounding and breath work. Then you have the option to do some gentle movements and a couple restorative poses, and we'll conclude with a guided meditation. And like Holly said, after that, we will have a community chat. So remember, the goal is not to push yourself. It's to meet your body where it's at and respond in compassion, because that's where the magic kind of happens. So with all that being said, I'm going to join you now and start in my restorative posture. So I would invite you all, if it's comfortable in your body, just to center here. See if you can allow your toes to dip out to the sides, and maybe even letting the palms rest face up, just to give a little space through your front body. And either soften your gaze or close your eyes. And see if you can sink down just a little bit into your support that's holding you here. And let the weight of your bones and your muscles let go. And let's see if we can guide the breath now in through the nose. And as you exhale through an open mouth sigh, and take that breath 2 more times, letting your body just relax on the exhale. Okay, so we're going to start with an option, something that's really good for dysautonomia and POTS. We're going to scrunch the feet and the hands together, like making very gentle fists, and pump them together, and then splay them open so the feet stretch, the fingers stretch, and then again clench them back. So as you do this movement, just see if you can sense and feel the blood flow coming more into your legs and into your arms. Just nice and easy. And this time when you clench, breathe in. And when you're ready to extend, breathe out. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. And let the hands now go to the sides. And you can decide here how to have your arms. We're going to come into some head and neck movements. So you may find you'd like to have a bit of stretch here, but if it's not available, just stay how you are. If you want to open the front body, place your hands out to the sides in a T, or place them behind your head, clasping the fingers. This would be the most intense stretch. And again, you can decide here if you'd like to keep your body long, or if you would like to have the knees bent with the feet flat. And what we're going to do is we're going to let the nose guide us. So just gently getting centered where your head is at. And see if you can just glide your nose back and forth like you're saying a slow no. And if you have any cervical issues or just EDS, or hypermobility, you're going to want this movement to be very slow or very small. So we're just releasing the fascia, warming up the muscles of the neck, letting go of the jaw, and then letting the head rest back again in its neutral position. And now we're going to take the head movement in the opposite way. So the chin comes up towards the ceiling. And then as you glide back down, the chin comes towards the chest. The goal is not to touch the chest. It's just to lengthen the back of the neck. So see how this movement feels in your body today. And letting the breath be soft and gentle. And whenever your head becomes back to center, letting that movement pass and having the arms now come out to the sides with the palms facing up, if that's available, or go long for a rest. We're going to use that head movement of taking the chin up and down, but we're also combining it now with our pelvis so we can get some spinal movement. So let's start with the pelvis of the spine. By rolling the hips forward, your tailbone will tip down, low back will arch, and then glide your chin slightly up. So this is a big arch in your back. Nice and easy, release, 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 back to neutral, letting all those muscles let go. Okay, so now the next movement will be flattening the lower back so the stomach muscles engage and your hips kind of roll up. And this time you jut your chin down. So you're lengthening the back of your body here. And then just as easy as before, release, release, and release fully. Wonderful. So let's take this movement 1 to 2 more times in your pleasure. Breathing in, rolling the pelvis down, tilting the neck up. Exhaling, coming to center. Inhaling, flattening the low back, chin comes down. You might even notice your shoulders get involved a little bit. Exhale, release. And one more time in your own time so you can really tap into how your spine's moving today. We're lubricating and giving the vertebrae a chance to separate. It's also like a cat-cow in traditional yoga. And when you are complete, letting that go, taking a nice deep breath in and letting it out. And either deciding to go long for a rest or coming into a bundle roll. So that's where we draw the knees in towards ourselves by placing the hands maybe along the shins or behind the thighs. And gently rock here if it's available in your body. Just gently moving back and forth. Giving a nice little massage on your back, giving that low back a little bit of a stretch. And when you are complete, joining me now with placing your feet back down in constructive rest. And we'll come into our arms and our shoulders. And I'm going to show two variations here. And you can always lay and visualize the movement if this is not available for you right now. So first option is to place your hands on your hips and gently glide your hands towards your knees. Your head will stay solid on the floor, and then glide the hands back to your hips. A leveling up would be to draw your knees in towards you, place your hands on your knees, and then draw the knees away from you. So whatever your body is responding to well, so your breath is smooth and easy, you're not gripping, just undulate back and forth a couple times. Knowing you can go long and rest whenever you need to. And the next time you come to center, we'll take the arms and take the knees and go opposite ways. So if you're on your back, just sliding one arm at a time. This kind of comes deeper into the shoulders and the neck a little. And if you're having your hands on your knees, just sliding them back and forth a couple times. Okay. And on your next inhale, letting the feet come back down if they were up. And deciding what you need. We're going to make our way into a restorative bridge pose. So having that pillow next to you, you'll want, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to get onto this. Now, this is not necessary because it does take extra strength. So you can either roll to one side and roll back onto the prop, or a higher load would be to press through the feet and place the prop under your bottom. So it's supporting your pelvis completely. And just settle yourself in here for a moment. Now, if it's available and you want to have a little more of a stretch, remove the pillow from under your neck. So that way your head is lower than your heart. And check in now with your arms. Where does it feel good? For comfort, I recommend placing them on your body. To open the front of the body, you can either take them out to the sides into a T, or cactus arms where you bend them at the elbows. And just press your feet in here, pressing in both at a time and then releasing. This is a very grounding pose, bridge pose. And as we're here, we are going to do something called bumblebee breath, which is inhaling through the nose. And as you exhale, your mouth will be closed and you'll make a humming sound like, So try this breath a couple times. This is a wonderful breath practice to stimulate the vagus nerve, the vibrational vibration all through the body. And one final breath here. And then removing the prop on however suits you best, either rolling to the side or placing it away. And let's take our bodies long. So legs come long out to the sides a little bit, widen your stance. Let the feet fall out to the sides, and even see if it's available to take your arms and take them away from the body. You want to take up space here. Come into a starfish that suits you. And just see if you can imagine stretching from your fingertips and your toes and stretching out. And then release. Okay, we'll do it with the breath this time. Inhaling, stretching through, and exhaling, release. And one more time, stretching through, radiating out, and then exhaling, release, release completely. And we'll have our final pose today, or you can stay here for rest and visualize. Let's take the legs and place them closer together. Okay, so we're coming into something called a banana pose, where we open the side body. So take your left leg and take it away from your body just a little bit. Then you're going to take your right leg and cross it, if it's available, over the left. You want your pelvis to remain on the support. So if you're arching forward, you've gone too far. If this isn't available, you can always place your sole of your foot to the opposite angle and come into tree instead. So you decide where it feels good in your body. And once you've found that sweet spot, let's move into the arms. So again, you're going to play and see what the range of motion is accessible. Okay, it can be anything here. And if you're coming across for a full intense stretch, drawing that right arm towards the left so your body makes the shape of a banana. And when you're here, making sure both shoulders are on the surface beneath you. So if you're arching, kind of settle yourself back a little bit. You're overdoing. And now let's focus on drawing your inhale into the side lungs that are open here. See if you can really sense and feel. You may even want to close your eyes. How that movement of breath comes in all the way from your ribs down to your lower abdomen. And we'll take one final side breath here, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And this time when you inhale, allow your arms to come back to the center and uncross your leg. And let yourself gather for a moment, and we'll take this movement to the opposite side. So you may find this side is different. It might need different requirements. So that's totally fine. You do what suits your body. And if you're coming in to that banana pose, making sure pelvis and shoulders remain on the surface. If the crossing is uncomfortable, take your opposite foot to the opposite angle into a tree pose. You can even place the pillow under there for a little bit more support. And while we're here, we're going to focus on this side of the lungs and see if you can really sense and feel as you breathe in. We're giving our bodies a chance to have full breaths. All this oxygen stimulating our blood cells. And one final inhale in this pose through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you're ready to inhale next, drawing your limbs back to center. And very slowly and steadily making your way onto your side, if that's available. Now let the blood pressure have an opportunity to resettle itself. Okay. And this is the time where you decide, do you stay here on your side? And if you want to come into a side lying child's pose, you'll draw the knees slightly more towards you and curl your head in and place your hand on your forehead. If you prefer to come onto your front body, we can come into a more traditional child's pose. So you decide here, and taking 3 full breaths before we transition to our Shavasana, our guided meditation. And seeing if you can let go of the movement portion of your practice now and start to think about what you would like to have for your guided meditation. If you're new to this, how we started is a good option with something under your head and something under your knees, blanket to cover you, maybe something to cover the eyes. So really take your time and get yourself settled for some deep rest. Well done.
And take a moment now and gently close your eyes and see if you can shift your body in any way it is craving to settle yourself just a little bit more in your meditative cocoon. And see if you can notice your breath. Gently feeling the oscillation of the inhale and the exhale as the breath moves through your body. And see, can you take a nice long inhale through the nose and open mouth, sigh it out through the mouth. Nice and easy. And just repeat this breath for the next couple breath cycles here. And with with each exhale, allowing your body to drop you deeper into the surface beneath you. And just sense now how you are feeling in your mind and in your body, and letting that just be. There's nothing you need to fix. You can just let it be. And see if you can shift your awareness by placing the right hand on your heart, signaling love, and the other hand on your belly, signaling safety. Notice your natural breath for a moment without changing it. Sense its rhythm and location. And with a bit more intention now, begin to deepen your inhale through your nose and send it low into your belly. And if it's comfortable, see if you can extend the length of the exhale for just a bit. Feeling the movement of your breath between your hands. Nice, slow, deep breaths. And keeping your hands resting here if that is comfortable. Imagine there is a ball of energy in both of your hands. You may want to picture a color or a shape and see if you can breathe in this healing energy both into your heart and your belly. And on the exhale, allowing for a sense of softness and letting go. And as you inhale, the light might grow brighter and warmer. And you begin to feel a great sense of comfort and safety and love spread through your entire body. And I will go silent now to allow you to rest here. You can allow your hands to fall comfortably at the sides or keep them here if it's more comforting. And just see if you can guide your mind to your breath. I will guide you back when it's time to rejoin our day. I'm going to go silent now. And just allow yourself some time to have deep rest. And I will guide you back when it's time to rejoin your day. And taking a moment to pause here and just notice how your body feels, how your mind feels. And give yourself a big thank you for taking the time to look after yourself today. And just bring some gentle movements into the fingers and the toes. Have a nice gentle stretch in whatever way the body's craving.
And then place your hands anywhere on your body that feels good as we close together in our community. And thinking of one another and thinking of us all here together. And noticing how you feel. And I send you light. I send you love. I send you peace. Namaste. Thanks everyone for coming. I think we are going to move now into a bit of a community chat, and I'll give an overview of what Nourish Therapeutic Yoga is all about in case you're curious. I hope you enjoyed the class. I'm just going to share my screen now. And if you have to go, absolutely, we understand. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. And if you have questions as I go, then feel free to type them in the chat, please. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see that. So, like many of you, my previously healthy self was incredibly active. And getting ME at 28, well, it changed absolutely everything. And over the years, I attempted various activities only to find they were simply not attainable. And that was even yoga. Classes were difficult to get to, too long, too strenuous, or too achievement focused. And I know this experience is so common in our community. So I decided to build Nourish Therapeutic Yoga for us. And over the years, I became a certified yoga teacher and used my training to specialize in adapting therapeutic and restorative yoga for our specific needs. So poses are not held for long periods, have minimal repetitions, transitions between the poses are slow. And the biggest reason this style of yoga is so good for us is it engages the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system, which is also known as the rest and digest. And this is the core of all my classes. And I'm going to be I'm not here to make fake promises and say that yoga will cure you. But I can say it has improved my level of functioning and quality of life. I found that this style of yoga was one of the few activities I could do without crashing. And then with safe, consistent practice over time, I've actually been able to do more. And Nourish participants have also shared similar stories with me and experiences. And a recent study reported increased energy, decreased chronic pain, feeling calmer and more at ease, and an improved state of well-being. And like we all know, these illnesses impact our lives in so many ways, and feelings of isolation and being misunderstood are so common. And knowing that being connected is crucial to well-being, Nourish also offers a regular social engagement as part of it. So every week after class, there's the opportunity to stay and have a community chat. And this, we share stories, experiences, strategies, and connect in a safe, supportive way, all within a positive environment with others who get what like living these illnesses are like. And then every Wednesday, we have live Zoom classes, and each week is different. So one might be for POTS, one might be for headaches or nausea, but all of them are for ME and have been adapted. And modifications are shown so you have the option to choose which level of exertion will best suit you. And then Nourish also offers now monthly memberships. So one of the options is a video library, and I have some free videos for everyone. But then there's also additional video collections that are specifically for chronic illness warriors. So I'm scrolling here, so hopefully if you need to close your eyes, please do so. But what I've done is I categorize them by spoon level. So 1 to 4 spoons. This class is an example of about a 2 spoon. And all the different practices range from 5 to 45 minutes, depending on what you want. And I'm currently growing the library, so requests are encouraged. And the other thing that is most popular right now is the all-inclusive library, or sorry, the all-inclusive monthly membership. This includes all free automatic enrollment to each Wednesday class, and you'll automatically get the Zoom link for the class, so you don't have to register. It also includes full access to the on-demand video library, and it's really good for those who are wanting to get into some sort of routine of having yoga and community as part of their lives, and you can come and go. And lastly, understanding that calming the nervous system is fundamental for us. I furthered my education, became a restorative yoga teacher. And as a result, I started doing 4-week series specializing in restorative yoga for ME. And the feedback was so positive that I decided to start doing them regularly for those looking for more. So our next series will begin this fall, and we will be doing a restorative course on focusing on the vagus nerve in restorative. So, that's me. That's done. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you found this helpful and perhaps can even join our community. Be sure to check out the website and ask questions if you have any. I'm very easy to approach, and I'm growing and learning as I hear from you. So please tell me what your needs are too, because you help all of us. And thanks again to ME Action, your support and for making this happen, and you give us all a voice. So thanks again, and I'll send it off to maybe Holly or Erin in case there's any questions.
Thank you so much, Shannon. This was wonderful. I've seen so many lovely comments in the chat. I did see at least one question. Erin is going to read those out for you to be able to answer. And if anyone else, if you have questions, please just put them in the chat, and we'll make sure Erin, who is our campaigns director at ME Action, reads them out for you. I hope that you got something really special out of today. I know, there's very few things we can come together and do together in community, and it was very special to be able to do this. So thank you so much to Shannon for that. And we also just right now we're just holding space for all of those who couldn't come together and be in this community with us, today or possibly any other day. And just a reminder, Shannon is very kindly doing special meditation for people with severe ME that we'll be sharing later, because we want to share this feeling of being able to be in community with as many people as we can. And then so I will let Erin take over and ask the questions that she's seeing.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you all. So the first question, Shannon, was about the banana pose.
Yeah.
People are wondering about where the leg goes, and they weren't quite able to see it. And so I don't know with how your setup is, if you can show it, but maybe you can explain it.
Yeah. So basically, I'll show the arms, and what you're wanting to get is a stretch along your side of your body. So you're curling that side. So kind of coming around this way. So this might not be accessible for everyone, what I'm showing right now. Okay, I'm clasping the wrist, and this is really stretching this side of the body. And then for your lower body, you basically take one leg and you cross it over the other. So like this. So my legs are here. I take one a little bit separate from the body and then cross it. And as a result, from laying down, you can see my body comes onto this curve, this tilt here. And then when I put the arms in, is even more. But you don't necessarily want to have like this big, huge C. What you're really looking for is just getting your body to have a chance to have this side open a little bit for a bit of time, because we're so often seated and laying on our backs that those side muscles and joints don't really get an opportunity to let go. I hope that helped.
I definitely see the banana in it. Yeah, I think that hopefully answered. Another question was someone asked if you do any fascia work for someone with fibros. So if you want to talk about that class opportunity or what
For sure. Well, first of all the classes I do have an element, because it's very micro movements, they're small. And so it's getting into the muscles more. When we were even doing like the neck one today, that's helping some of the fascia. But I am going to be having a special class coming up on our regular Wednesdays that's going to be how to do some fascia massaging and like little movements you can make to help with that as well. But somatic yoga is part of what I teach each Wednesday, and in that there's a lot of fascia work.
Wonderful. Someone has asked about interested in severe ME classes, and they asked did I miss something, and so I'm going to follow up and say what Holly was talking about with severe ME is that Shannon has agreed to record some meditations that will be geared towards those with severe ME. You know, obviously anyone can use them. And we are working on getting those recorded, and we will be sharing them in the coming weeks, hopefully by next week, but please don't hold us to any timeline, as technology is always tricky. But that is what we are working. ME Action is working with Shannon on, is creating meditations for severe ME. But Shannon, if you have any designated classes or classes you would recommend for those with severe ME, please take it away.
Well, I would say depending on how severe, first of all, okay, because that ranges and everyone's interpretation of that might be a little different. I have one spoon classes, which are all laying down and very short and doing little movements, but for some people that might even be too much. What I might even consider doing, if I get feedback from people who are severe and saying what their needs are, then I'd make a free class on my website that they can access. So if you're out there and you have severe ME, and you need gentle movement in certain things, send me an email. That's all you need to do when you can.
Wonderful. Some people are asking some follow-up questions about the meditation, so let me just quickly answer them the best that I can. Most likely our meditations will be shared on YouTube, on our ME Action YouTube channel. We will make sure to send out, definitely social is where we will let people know once they are available, but possibly an email depending on our communication schedule in the coming weeks. And then the other question, I'm assuming this is for the severe ME, was will the classes be yoga and meditation? And for the severe ME, currently they are just meditations, but we can always think about other stuff. Shannon is wonderful and is great. And so we are continuing to brainstorm ways to bring more of these types of classes to our community. So be on the lookout as more information hopefully will be coming in the coming weeks and months. But this class that you guys just currently took is also being recorded. And once we get captions up on it to make it more accessible, we will be also sharing this for people to come back to and retake the class when you want to. And that will be available again, also on our YouTube channel. So, but we will share both links, predominantly on social. You'll be able to find when we have the recordings done, but hopefully also possibly emails. Okay, I think I have a question for you. Will you be doing any meditations, maybe soothe the nervous system when people are in a crash or PEM or PEM, sorry?
Yes, in fact, in the video library, there's a section for what to do, and I'm adding to this when you have a crash. So there will be specific meditations for that, specific movements for that, and it's all geared at calming the central nervous system first and foremost, but it's also geared at getting some movement so you can get a little bit of blood flow, get the joints a little bit lubricated, but not go into a further crash or a deeper crash. It's very light. But we understand we've got to move to a certain extent to keep things flowing and moving. And that's what this period is kind of for, I would say. And the restorative with the vagus nerve is very much going to be along those lines as well. But again, if you're severe, you may find you need something lighter than that.
Thank you. I'm not seeing any other questions pop up into the channel, even though we have about 8 minutes left. So if anyone is on here and you have a question, feel free to put it into the chat and I will ask Shannon. But overall, Shannon, there are just such wonderful, wonderful comments in the chat. I hope that you get a chance to read these. And one of the things that, Holly talked about was just how much thought and care we put into making sure this was such an accessible class. And just everyone here is just so appreciative of finding something that they're able to do and also coming together and finding community. So Shannon, just really thank you. We're just so appreciative of your time and that you make these classes so geared towards our community. We just really, really appreciate it. And the chat is saying the same thing. So yes.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
I see some of my Nourish members. Hi, I'm so glad you were able to make it. It's so nice to see you guys too. Oh, yes. And it's also from lived experience, right? So I'm in there with you. Thank you.
Yeah, so someone's asking what is available on ME Action YouTube versus what is available on your platform. So just to clarify, there is on our YouTube, there was a class that we did last year with Shannon that is available. And then this class will be recorded and shared on our YouTube, plus the severe ME meditations will be on ME Action's YouTube. Any of the other stuff that Shannon showed when she was sharing her website is available on her site. Quick question about maybe if you could give us a price range. I don't know if maybe people saw the amount on the screens or not, about your different different ways people can sign up and the price range for those.
Of course. The reason why the prices aren't on the actual website, you have to click whatever you're interested, because it'll show in your currency. I'm in Canada, so my currency is different, obviously, than America and the UK. So I'll use US dollars because that kind of gives everyone kind of knows a range for that. So a drop-in class rate every Wednesday, if you just came for the class,
Darling. Sweetie.
11 US dollars. The monthly membership for the library, the virtual library only, that is $20 US. And then
Hello,
one
darling.
for the
Hello,
all-inclusive-
sweetie.
Oh,
Sorry, really quickly, there's somebody who's not muted. If you are unmuted, do you mind? We just want to make sure the background sounds are canceled so everyone can hear Shannon. Thank you.
thanks. Oh, brain fog.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. All-inclusive membership is 30 US, and that includes the library and all 4 classes. So it's kind of a range, and hopefully it's accessible, but I do have free videos on the website for those who, can't afford it as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, because obviously cost can be also a hindrance. So it's wonderful that you have some of those. And again, thank you for partnering with us for this class to offer those these free for our community. We really, really appreciate it. Okay, let me check to see if we have one more question. Oh, yes. So someone was wondering, what time is the class on Wednesdays?
So it would be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's Toronto, New York, which ends up being 6 p.m. for the UK, and then 10 a.m. for East Coast in US and the state and Canada. So just look up 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe that's the easiest.
Yes, it's always fun working with a staff across multiple time zones, and also UK. We always have to double check our time zones here at ME Action. So, and how long? Oh, someone asking, I'm assuming this is regards to the Wednesday class. How long is the Wednesday class, and what does it involve?
It's exactly like what we did today. So 30 minutes, we always begin with grounding, breathing, movement, meditation. And then after that, we have our community chat. So the whole class would be 60 minutes, but everybody ranges. Some come in for 5 minutes if they're having a bad day and leave. And some come in and stay the whole time. So you can come and go. And this would be similar movement to this as well. Sometimes we do seated, but you can always do it from bed, laying down.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Well, and yes, the monthly memberships prices was per month.
Yes, yeah, no. We definitely appreciate, classes that are accessible for everyone, but we also recognize and honor that Shannon is a trained professional and is deserved of payment as well, to make sure everyone is time and energy is awarded with what is deserved. So I just want to wrap up this class and just say thank you so much for offering this and reaching out to us last year. And I'm so glad we've continued this partnership. It is just wonderful and amazing. As we were talking, this class will be recorded and shared, hopefully in the next week or so. It does take us a while to add captions, especially for hour-long classes. And then the meditations will be available coming shortly too. So keep a lookout either in your email or on social. We will let you know when those recordings are available. And then also keep a lookout as we are continuing to brainstorm with Shannon different ways to offer these types of services to our community. So again, thank you. We had up to almost 200 people who joined live, which is really amazing and wonderful. I think it speaks a lot about how unique this opportunity is, and how much people are looking for something like this. I was sharing with Holly in a chat that this tends to be one of our largest attended virtual classes beyond our Millions Missing virtual things. So it just shows how much this resonates with our community. So thank you all for you who came in all of your multiple time zones. I know some people, this was pretty late at night for people like in Denmark and the UK, and then for across the US, this is a Friday afternoon. So we appreciate your attendance and your time. We hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and we will be in touch. So thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Hope to see you again.